Hey everybody, how's it going? I hope you're having a lovely day. A few years ago on this channel, I put time and effort into archiving advertisements that were funded by major automakers that implied that if you were to get your car fixed at an independent mechanic, if right to repair passed, that you would be sexually assaulted in a parking lot, tracked, and stalked. These advertisements were funded by General Motors, Toyota, Ford, Honda, and Nissan, and they looked like this.
Section 1 passes in Massachusetts. Anyone could access the most personal data stored in your vehicle. Domestic violence advocates say a sexual predator could use the data to stalk their victims. Pinpoint exactly where you are, whether you are alone. Even take control of your vehicle. Vote no.
Vote no on question 1. Keep your data safe. And in these commercials, it's very obvious what they're implying. You have somebody that's sneaking up on a woman that's by themselves, there's scary music playing, the parking lot has that really blue fluorescent lighting that just lends itself to a feeling of creepiness. And at the end of it, it says, vote no on question 1, keep your data safe. And that this is something that is pushed for by victims of sexual assault. They do not want question 1 passing. And one of the things that I find interesting about this is it really comes back to one of these principles where the person who is accusing somebody else of something without foundation is usually the person taking part in those practices themselves. This was reported by the Mozilla Foundation, and they went through the privacy policies of many automakers, and they found this in Nissan's privacy policy. This is not from a conspiracy website. This is from nissanusa.com/privacy.html. If you hit Control F in your web browser after visiting the site and you type in sex, you will find this. Sensitive personal information, including driver's license number, blah, 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 blah. So sexual orientation, sexual activity, precise geolocation, health diagnosis data, and genetic information, direct contact with users and Nissan employees to provide connected vehicle services that might utilize or rely on geolocation. Now, why do you need information on my sexual activity? More importantly, why does my car need information on my sexual activity? The number one concern that I've heard from all of you when it comes to this issue is, why is my vehicle storing this data on me anyway? Let's say somebody does hack my vehicle. Why do they have the ability to get access to so many pieces of information on me? Why is my vehicle storing data on me that I did not consent to it storing to begin with? And part of that is data on my sexual activity. If I have sex with my girlfriend in my vehicle, that is the business of myself and my girlfriend, not Nissan, not you. None of you fuckers have the right to that information, and I don't care if you EULA roofied me into it. This is a term that you can hear me using more often on this channel, EULA roofing, because many people that have to work 2 jobs in order to have a decent standard of living in 2023, the way the economy is now, don't have the time to read the privacy policy of every single device that they purchase and own. They just don't have the time to read 30 pages of legalese in order to figure out if their device is going to fuck them, or more importantly, track when they fuck somebody else inside of their own car. Yeah, you consented, but you consented with this stuff buried in there. Again, how many people are looking through the privacy policy of their vehicle to look up whether or not it's going to be collecting information on their sexual activity? Yes, technically you got consent from the customer, but you did it in a very disgusting way. The same way that I may get consent from somebody to go on a date with me after dropping something in their drink. I consider actions like this to be EULA roofing, because you know damn well if this was in your marketing materials for the car, if this was written on the car, if this was written on the front of the Nissan dealership, people may be less likely to purchase the vehicle. You may think that I'm going overboard here, but I'm really not. I mean, Tesla was caught several months ago with employees memeing each other based on images that they were collecting from the cameras on people's cars. So Tesla cars have cameras all around them for autopilot, and there's also an internal camera in the cabin to see if you're paying attention. And they have been hit with a class action lawsuit because they were spying on their customers, and they were even sharing memes in their internal chat, which I go into in this 12-minute video if you're actually interested in it. The Mozilla Foundation included a number of different companies that have egregious privacy violations, but in my opinion, the worst one is Nissan, which again, on their own website, gives them the right to retain information on your sexual activity, and it really just does come back to this principle that I talk about time and time again on this channel. Many of these manufacturers are trying to scare you away from right to repair. We'll talk about safety issues, security issues, personal data issues, and in reality, the people that are sucking up the most of your personal data, but most importantly, the people who are abusing your personal data, are the manufacturers, the very people that spend millions upon millions of dollars on commercials to make you believe that your data was going to be sucked up by the independent. At the end of the day, the person that you need to be afraid of when it comes to your personal data is not the mechanic down the road, is not the shade tree mechanic, is not yourself, but rather the manufacturer, because they're not hiding the ball at all here. They're literally telling you in their privacy policy, nissanusa.com/privacy, sexual activity, precise geolocation, health diagnosis data, and genetic information. Why the flying fuck does my my car need to collect information on my sexual activity? Nathan Proctor has a good sense of humor. He said we shouldn't consider this to be all bad. Maybe the car can detect when you're getting down and dirty with somebody and start playing some Marvin Gaye or Barry White to make the mood a little better. But in all seriousness, at the end of the day, every single time the manufacturer has said that we're doing this for your security, for your safety, for your privacy protection, or any other bullshit, something like this comes out where they are doing something considerably worse than any independent. And it's important that you understand that. It's important that you understand the level to which these companies are willing to manipulate you to take away your rights of ownership. These pieces of human filth spent $25 million effing dollars on this bullshit to try and convince you that if you were to get your car fixed by an independent, there is a chance of you being sexually assaulted in a parking lot, being stalked, and having your data sucked up. When right there on their own fucking website, it says that this is what they're collecting. Fuck you, Nissan. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.